Hello, everybody. I'm Jalen, and we're back here in my forever world, creeping up on day 4,000. We've got 100 days to go, and I think fresh off a nice little build project here, building my first modern house ever in the last episode, and I'm really liking how it came out. I think I want to spend these last 100 days working on smaller projects throughout the world and just kind of detailing things and tidying things up for day 4,000. So we're going to start with the lighthouse here. I just wanted to match it up with the mansion there, kind of unite the builds. So it's just going to be doing a bunch of little things like this and hoping it all adds up to really making a difference when I get to day 4,000, which I plan on doing a world tour and a download at. So we're in the final push here. So I'd like to just do some landscaping, get a couple interiors done, a couple custom trees, and I've got a couple builds. I do want to get a basic exterior on just to fill the world out a little bit, but we're not going to get too detailed on that. And I'm really glad I did this here. Like I said, just unifying these builds down at the beach here so they just feel more like one big project rather than a bunch of randomness, which is what I'm going for in the spawn area here, but I like to have each area have a little bit of cohesiveness, and yeah, just trading out some of the oak and getting that copper in there. And I'm glad I kept a good amount of the oak here just to separate things a little bit. I think it's a cool combo over there, but I think they look pretty good together here. And yeah, then I ended up hopping on stream, which I'm actually going to do quite a lot throughout this episode. And this stream I didn't do very good at getting clips, so you're just kind of getting a recap here. And we were working with the copper golems. It was update day. And I think these guys are awesome. I love their animations. And yeah, we spent a whole bunch of time just getting our chests organized, trying to get each type of block in the chest. As long as you have at least one of each block, the golem will put that item in there if they're looking for it, if that makes sense. So I just fill this chest up with a bunch of random items. Now, a lot of these they don't end up having a spot for, which I was having trouble on stream figuring out what to do with, but we'll show you what we got here. So right now, for example, they're both carrying these dark oak stairs, which doesn't have a spot yet. It will be in this chest, but yeah, and what I found out was they kind of go in order from closest to furthest. So they'll come in here and look in the refrigerator there, but this will be the furthest chest away, which I got a hopper underneath and a chest system underneath the house. So that chest will always stay empty, and that way in the end, if they don't find the right chest to put the item in, they'll eventually have a spot to drop things off. So I've test ran it a few times, and it seems to be working at this point. It might not be a perfect science, but yeah, you can see drop the stairs off in there. This guy as well. And the hopper just keeps this chest empty, so they'll always put an item. If they find a chest empty, they'll put the item in it. And you can see this guy's got the white terracotta, so he'll put that in this chest because we got some terracotta in there. And yeah, this guy's just going away, finding a bunch of the blocks and slabs and stairs, which are in the chest right next to him, so that's working out. And yeah, I think we got things working pretty good here. You can see him putting the white terracotta in there. And like I said, we got our chests hiding under our house here. And over time, they'll just fill up with random items that I didn't quite get in the chest up there yet, but I know where each item should go. So over time, the chest will just get organized and filled with the right stuff. And before too long, I won't be having to come down here as much. And obviously, we'll have to clean the chests up there every now and then. But the other thing we worked on was getting my bedroom put in down here. And I think this turned out awesome. I really liked the idea we came up with, that the person that lives down here was a painter, and we got this cool little painting set up of him painting this display here. I think that's a really cool little detail there. And then a bunch of his paintings displayed on the walls. I like the nice open feel down here. We got my entrance into my storage hiding in the closet here. You can see we got our main storage down here that will slowly expand over time. Yeah, I just think this is a real cool room here. I like the bed with the bed on top of the bed as a pillow, so we can sleep down here. But yeah, get back to doing more random projects around the world. Another thing I've been wanting to do was expand my custom coral reef over here a little bit and extend it over the top of my storage area down there, essentially so that it'll look cooler from inside the storage area, having some corals to look up at from down there. And this ended up being a decent little project. Coral's kind of annoying to work with for one thing, since you can't place it on the side of the block, but luckily I used a bunch of other blocks anyway. But the big project was replacing a bunch of the stone and the dirt with sand. It just really helped with the vibe, and it created this little artificial island here, which inspired me to build a big old palm tree, which ended up looking really cool out here, just again expanding the footprint of my world little by little. And I think I actually did pretty good on this palm tree. It's actually the biggest one I've built in this whole area here. I think it's just cool having it stick out from the rest of the beach there. Then I went through and hit a little lighting, got some seagrass and some coral spread around, and we really got a cool little vibe going on here. Added a few more big corals, and it's fun getting creative with the different blocks you use for these. And yeah, I think it's looking really good. We'll expand this coral reef more and more all the time, I think, but doing little sections like this, and this is a very important one here, being right over my storage area, so now when we're inside and looking up, it looks way cooler. I don't even know how good this really comes through on YouTube, but it doesn't quite do it justice, especially with the palm tree now back there. We got our lighthouse, of course, on this side. It makes you want to get more things built up there, actually, but just having the coral and the sand vibe, really looking a lot cooler. And then, yeah, I hopped back on stream and started another stream project. I've been wanting to do a little bit of work in all my different tree chopping areas with a themed kind of base in each area, so I went ahead and did my cherry wood area. It was all on stream, and I'm just going to kind of cut it into a little montage and let you watch it come together. Obviously trying to stick with the cherry vibe around here, and I really liked the color palette when I flew out here. The crimson wood just goes really well with the full cherry wood log, so it really matches the trees. I just think it looks really good. Then a great addition to the color palette was using the blue ice for the roof. I figured I was going kind of crazy and whimsical over here anyway. Might as well run with it. Then I put some white wool on for clouds, and we got kind of a sky roof, and we'll get a good look here in a second. I think it ends up looking really cool. I'm really happy with how this build came together. Trying to keep things interesting, less straight lines. I tried to keep the windows fairly rounded and tried to have most of them be different shape from each other just to keep things interesting. And you can see I've got the pink windows at the moment, but I end up swapping them all out for blue. Blue just ends up looking cooler, but you can see the shape we got going around the windows, and just a nice, interesting build coming along. I'm just really happy with how it came together. And the stream actually cut off at the end, unfortunately, so I finished a little bit off stream. But you can see we got this really cool shaped house here, and I think the blue roof just really stands out in the pink cherry forest. And I was liking this project so much, I put in a whole bunch of work, putting in the deck and landscaping and just making it fit. And I let myself go on a little side project of connecting my road up from my microfarm area over to this little bridge down here, and it just completes the loop of my world, actually, and I'm really satisfied that I finally got this done. Gets rid of one of the few dead ends in my world. I'm trying to have everything kind of be connected and just a loop in a way, so you just keep wanting to walk to the next thing. And yeah, definitely nice just having this little boardwalk along the water down here. Well worth the project there. I'll actually land on this tree here that we're going to do something about here in just a second, but it has been my viewing tree, and yeah, you can just see having that little boardwalk along the bottom, just expanding my world. This whole right side now is just a big addition to the area, I think, and I think getting the landscaping done, got our stone wall in and the deck, and just still can use some details, but definitely coming together. And I think from walking down here, it's just got this nice grand feel and just looks really cool up there. And obviously the building doesn't really have a purpose yet, and definitely lots of details that could be done, but I'm not trying to spend all these days on one project. I'm trying to really spread things around, so we'll come back for round 2 on that at some point. But for now, I wanted to get replacing this one tree with another one of my big giant jungle trees. I've been wanting to do this since I built the other 2, and figured no better time than now. And again, this was done live on stream, and I didn't do as well as I would have liked of taking clips, so I'm not able to show the process as much as I would have liked. A couple episodes back, you can watch it a little better, but yeah, the same jungle tree I've already built a couple times, and I'm getting this thing down pretty good. Getting one of these up in less than an hour is well worth the hours spent to get a giant tree like this added in your world. I was trying to be pretty sparse with the leaves. I do end up coming back and adjusting my leaf placement here a little bit, but you can really see how much of a difference having that third tree in there makes. Just really adding to the skyline. Well worth the hour spent, like I said. Then I ended the stream coming over to my autumn tree area, wanting to add some more of these, and it's been a while since I built these guys. Once you get in a good zone, they come together fairly quickly as well. And I think these trees are just really cool additions to the world. Unfortunately, I'm probably not going to really have a big fall time build this year, just the way it's working out. I'm going to be starting a fresh season in this world somewhere far off, and we won't be coming back to this area for at least 500 days, so this might be the last little bit of work in this autumn area. I was trying to do some autumn builds every autumn and add to it, but we're not getting much done this year. I only did the one on stream, but after the stream I ended up doing a couple more. And I'm really liking all the different types of trees I've got going on in my world at this point. And I just really like the way these frame in the building there. We added these 3 in front, and you can see they really add a lot. And I look forward to coming over and just spreading these trees all over the place. It's going to be really cool over time, but unfortunately it might be a little while before we make it back here. Then I made my way back out this direction and got going on a pretty serious waterfall project here that I had kind of envisioned when I was working over here, and a bonus part of it was getting the water source for the waterfall itself is where I started, and it ended up making this pretty cool stream going right through here. But yeah, this was a fairly big project. I've been wanting to get a nice terraced waterfall in this world ever since I did it a couple times in different hardcore worlds. I don't have one yet in this world, so I just started creating a bunch of pools at different levels and gonna make them all flow into each other. And I really enjoyed doing this project before, and this one turns out really cool as well. And it's been nice for these last few building projects I'm doing in these last 100 days, just having most of the materials handy and just being able to get in a block, place, and flow. And I think these type of waterfalls might be one of my favorite things to build. I need to do it more often, actually. This was a fairly big one. I'd like to do a really big one at some point. And I know I'm kind of flying through some of these projects here and really chopping the clips up, but that's just kind of what I wanted to go for this episode, just try to show a whole bunch of different projects and all kinds of progress. But I also didn't want it to be an hour long, so this is what we're getting. And this waterfall was all done on stream as well if you really want the details. But yeah, I was really happy with how it came together here. And again, I'm just really liking adding to my main view in my main spawn area. Just getting this whole right side is just a huge addition. Spent a whole bunch of time going around with some dirt and some moss and just making it look a little more natural and green. Got this little bridge put in over my new stream up top here. bunch of patches of roses just to get that nice little pop of color. And I thought the green and the red just looked really good against each other. And a whole bunch of landscaping again, just bringing the stone to the wall, planted a few extra cherry trees. And I can't say it enough just how happy I am getting this right side of this hill kind of almost completed looking from out here. Just really expanding my little spawn mountain there, and I think this waterfall is just awesome. A great landmark in my world here. And again, I could go with more details, like they're all just stone blocks. I could go through with some stairs and slabs, and I will at some point, but again, I'm not trying to stick on one project for too long here, so I flew out to my treehouse area, wanting to get a start on some of the buildings on this side of the river here. I'm really trying to have the river come together, and I really like the buildings on that side, so thought we'd move over here. This side we're going to be matching up with our castle up there, building in pretty much the same palette, and just kind of having it all look like one project here. Just jumping right in, nothing too fancy. We're just putting some basic tree houses just like on the other side of the river, except trying to go in the same theme of the castle up there for the most part. You can see what I'm talking about. They go so well together, and when I flew back at this point, I was real excited for it. I think the depth it creates is just really good, and this was a fairly big project. I was going through assembly line status, just through all the buildings, getting the deck put in, getting it a little bit safer as I worked, and all the trims, all the roofs. Frame of the roof is one thing, but then when you actually have to go around and fill in the whole roofs, again, like I said, it's nice I had all the materials to be able to do this kind of thing to end this season of my Forever World here. And around, got all the floors in as well, and just get the basic building in, fill in any holes, get the trim in. Went around and knocked out all the windows. For down here, I'm using yellow glass because it kind of goes with the castle up there. I don't have actual windows in the castle. I use a bunch of yellow blocks, but I want windows down here, so we're going the yellow glass, and I think it actually ends up looking kind of cool, kind of different. Of course, went around in front of all the windows and did flower pots and frames around the windows. I know we really just flew through this project here, but again, we're just trying to go on to the next one. But man, this was quite a bit of work, but I was in a good mode here. I feel like I got this done fairly fast, and you can just see the difference it makes over there. And just imagine when I fill this whole little island over there in with more buildings similar to that are all in the same style, and it just looks like one big project. I'm really looking forward to that. Again, something that unfortunately won't get picked up on for a little while, but it definitely will. And my plan is to come back here and get a path along the backside here, and a bunch of terraforming and landscaping need to be done to make that work, and connect it all up to the tree houses there. But again, I'm not trying to stick on one project for too long. So I flew back to the spawn area and hopped back on stream, and essentially spent the whole stream gathering different mobs that I want to bring down and leave in my free roaming villager area, and have some animals roaming around there as well. And we actually started with the barn here, since I have a couple valuable animals in here, and I haven't been finding enough of a reason to come back here. I really like the little diorama we got, so I think I'm going to turn it into a bee sanctuary. I couldn't leash the panda, so I didn't bring him down, but I got the camels, and Mr. Moo and Sweetie, my bird, made their way down, as well as a couple more. Again, not the best at taking clips. Did get a bunch of the warm animals. Got armadillo while I was out here as well. Didn't get the clip of that. And then I ended up replacing a bunch of paintings that had fallen off. I know we all dealt with the paintings falling off the wall glitch. I think at least a lot of us did. So I placed a stack of paintings. And then another thing I wanted to do was come down here to the river below my villager area and just detail it up a little bit. Get some stone on the side and spread some greenery around. I spread this little spit of sand quite a bit, not only to shape the river, but also just to give the nice pop of sand, as well as under the water as well, just making it look a lot more natural rather than just being all dirt. I've been wanting to do these cattails forever. I've seen a few people do them over time, and I always forget to do them, but I think they end up looking really cool. Got a bunch of greenery spread around, and yeah, I think this river's just looking a lot better at this point. And again, on the search for mobs, we ended up getting a couple turtles. And I ended up trying to breed them, but I didn't do my research. It's my first time ever messing with turtles, actually, so that didn't go very well. Then I got sidetracked for a moment. A little project I've been wanting to do was I have this little natural canyon in my underwater area here. I thought I'd fill it with white glass and just kind of have it be a river under the river. Looks coolest from under the water, but still glad I did it. And I spent many trips flying around looking for pandas mainly. I did on stream bring a couple back, but it didn't go very well. We won't talk about that. And like I said I was going to, I did fly up and put a little more work into the leaves on this new tree here. Mainly thickening up the tips of the branches a little bit. Just helps with the shape. And I spent a good amount of time with this hillside over here. It was all just dirt. Unfortunately, I lost the main clip of it, but it was all just dirt. Got a bunch of stone exposed and spread a whole bunch of moss and trees, and it's got it looking livelier, a lot better than just vanilla Minecraft land. And the last thing we did to finish off this 100 days and hit today 4,000 was I've got this long road connecting my treehouse area to my spawn area, and I ended up lighting up the whole thing. And it's going to look way cooler at nighttime, as well as going through and getting the slabs put in just to make it easier to traverse. And at this point, we have played 4,000 days in this Minecraft world, which is really crazy to think about. It's definitely turned into the world I always dreamed of as a Minecrafter, I would say. And one big piece of advice is I went many years of just starting new worlds all the time. I would get to a pretty good point and then just start a new world for whatever reason. And once I just quit doing that and coming back to the same world, it just all adds up slowly but surely over time. And just come back to your same world, and it's really fun to watch it grow. Especially try to kind of build it close enough together where all the builds can kind of help each other out. And I think getting this side of the mountain all built up today was just a huge addition to the area, as well as getting this hillside decorated a little bit. I kind of flew through this project, but definitely put some work in, getting some stone exposed and just spreading all this moss around. So much better than just having the vanilla Minecraft terrain. And yeah, got all the kind of things done, getting the lighthouse to match the modern house, getting the coral reef expanded, and our new palm tree, and our new big jungle tree. A lot better having the 3 jungle trees up there. And yeah, I really liked how we broke up this last 100 days, just doing a bunch of little additions. I think this is the biggest addition we got, finishing up our spawn hill over there. And yeah, as happy as I am to be on day 4001 at this point, it's also kind of sad because I'm not going to be back in this spawn area for at least a little while, at least 500 Minecraft days. We're going to do a world tour and a world download, by the way. And then I'm going to head off in a new direction and stay there for 500 days before I come back to spawn area here. So, yeah, with that, as always, I appreciate you all for coming, and have a good day.